Good evening, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Just wanted to come say hi. How's it going? Everybody's week off to an amazing start, hopefully. Okay, I got 22 minutes till my timer goes off. Got cornbread in the oven. Okay. So I wanted to come on and let you know, one, I put together a great bundle for Mother's Day because just had that epiphany that day is coming up really fast. And if you want to grab something for your mom, for your sister, for your wife, for yourself, let me know. I put together a really good Mother's Day bundle. It is going to have the gold eye masks, which are a targeted, depuffing, hydrating eye mask for you. So it makes you look rested, really hydrates that under eye, really helps tighten and brighten that area for you. The lip mask, which I don't have mine over here right now, which is like my favorite thing. I think everybody should have one. It's going to pretty much hydrate your lips. It really moisturizes them. It's really something you can use once or twice a day, and it gives you hydration. You can slab it on at night, and it gives you great hydration all night long and into the next day. So that is in that Mother's Day bundle, along with the body scrub. So we have this amazing beachfront body scrub. I don't have it, but I have heard it's amazing, and it smells just like delightful. So if you need an amazing body scrub, you'll get that in that Mother's Day bundle. Along with the pocket palette, I did not get prepared and grab anything. So the pocket palette, it's a 4-in-1. It has a highlight, it has a blush, it has a matte bronzer, and it has a lip gloss. The highlight, blush, and bronzer can all be used as eyeshadows or face products. So it's really a universal product. It is about yay big. If you've watched before, you see me use it. I use it like every day. It's one of my favorite things. I got it for Black Friday on special, and they relaunched it again in April. So now it is available, which I'm so happy because I literally use it every day and I love it. So it's about yay big. So it's nice. It's pocket size. You literally can take it everywhere with you. So in addition to that, I would get you the total package brush to go with it, which is a 4-in-1 brush. So that brush goes really well with that pocket palette because it literally has a brush for everything in that palette. So it's very handy to have. And then the last thing you'll get is your choice of foundation. So whether that's the Serum Plus foundation, that's my favorite one I use on a daily basis, spray foundation, or a powder foundation, or a stick foundation. So if you want more of a creamy based foundation, your choice of foundation, and I will color match you for free. So that's my Mother's Day bundle. I also have a build your own bundle going. So if you want to just build something out for yourself that you really want, there's a we can do that with a discount too. So just let me know if you want to do it for yourself, if you want to do it for somebody you know. I have done like birthday bundles before for people where they just tell me, this is my budget I want to spend on this person, and we kind of talk about what to get them, and then they connect me with that person, and I get more specifics to personalized skincare or makeup or whatever it is, like colors or problem areas in skin, to really get that targeted to them. So that's an option also for you if you're interested. But I was listening to my podcast today, and it was just talking about staying in a positivity, in a high positivity, and like that flow state of having that positivity coming in and having gratitude and giving it back out, and really being able to grow in that, being at that high frequency level. So I was listening to that, and then I was scrolling when I got home, and this little message popped up, and it really kind of just resonated with me because it was talking about like flowers and how flowers bloom and plants and like their environment, and like that connection to like how we are very similar in that aspect. And it really aligned with the podcast this morning. So I was like, okay, this is meant to be. I need to talk about this today just because I'm having all these things align that are really just similar, and I got to share it with you guys. So it was pretty much that. It was like, okay, to stay in positivity, to stay in flow, to stay in high frequency, whatever it is you want to call it, just being in that positive internal state, right? It takes practice. It's not easy, and it takes practice. And the more you do it, the more it becomes routine, and the more you're able to just continually do it and continually be in that state and raise your frequency level up, right? Okay, so part of that is what you're creating and what you're observing, right? So like all your thoughts, everything you're observing, and then from that is what you create, right? So if you take your observations in a 24-hour period, right? So in that 24-hour period, you probably sleep for approximate 8 hours, right? Give or take. That leaves you 16 hours of you being awake and making observations of things around you. Okay, so if you really think about that over the 16 hours of time, think about how much of that time are you actually spent observing what you want to create and like envisioning yourself, right? So like if you sat back and pictured like your ideal self and the things that like the energy you want to have and what that life looks like, how much of your 16 hours are you actually spending observing yourself in that state and working towards being that person that you want to become, right? So out of that time that you're actually doing that, which for me is becoming more and more, but I know when I first started like thinking about this, it probably wasn't very frequently. I was thinking about what I had to do for dinner, what I have to do for this, what I have to do for that, just the day-to-day hustle and bustle. And then my other thoughts were like an afterthought, right? So my health, my fitness, what I'm eating, how I envision myself in the ideal world and what frequency I want to be at, my internal happiness. That was not something I was constantly thinking about, where now it is something that I more frequently think about. Okay, so that, I feel like I'm getting off track. That's why I have notes, because otherwise I'll forget where I'm at. Okay, so how much time are you actually spending observing the things that you want to create for yourself and the life that you want to create for yourself and the frequency that you want to create for yourself out of those hours that you're awake? And for some people, they might sleep less, they might be awake more, or they might sleep more, and they might have less of that conscious awake observation time happening. Okay, so, and then how much of that time is spent observing your current state? So that's kind of what I was talking about. What I'm doing right now, what I'm eating, what I'm making for dinner, what I have to do. Like that's my current state. So I'm just constantly observing myself in my current state. So I'm not working towards getting to a higher state, because all I'm observing is where I am right now and almost being content in that observation of my current state. And then the worst part of it is like, how often are you observing things that like you fear, right? So like if you're observing your fears, things you're scared of, your anxiety, stress. So like just having those thoughts and like thinking about those things. So how often out of those 16 waking hours that you're awake are you actually spending observing the person that you want to become versus the person you are, versus like your worst fears and the things you definitely don't want to be, but you're still thinking about all those what ifs. What if this happens? What if that happens? Like some people go through those like spirals of tragic things, right? And they just can't get out of that cycle when they start thinking it. So how much of your time are you wasting on those kinds of things that could be better spent thinking and observing and creating the person that you want to be like in the future, right? Or for the rest of your life, in that positive, happy state that you want to be in. Okay. So be intentional with your observations. So I've talked about before, like when you have a thought, take that thought, observe that thought, right? Like give that thought love. Okay, why am I thinking this? Observe it from an alternative perspective. Learn from it. Like what did you learn from this thought? Whether it was a good thought or bad thought, you're still learning from it. Like you're learning about yourself and how you're observing things and perceiving things. So observe that thought and let that thought go and grow, right? And then here comes another thought, right? And so you want those thoughts to be more about what you're going to be. So whether that's like, I'm going to have $1 million, I'm going to move to this dream location that I want to be in, I'm going to just be positive and have internal peace. Like that's kind of where I'm at right now. Because I'm pretty satisfied with like my present state of things. And I don't mean like tangible things, because I'm not really a tangible thing person. I mean like with my life in general is pretty satisfying for me right now. So for me right now, I'm just working on my internal happiness and to that in connection to my physical state and wanting to be a more healthier person all around, right? Mentally, physically, all those things. Okay. So be intentional with your observations. Don't waste time observing too many thoughts that don't serve you to become the better you, right? Like you've got to start being intentional with the thoughts that you're having and with the observations that you're having of those thoughts. Okay. So then when I fast forward, that was the podcast. So fast forward and I was scrolling and I found this thing and it was, hey, Carrie. And it was, so what she was saying is if a flower doesn't bloom, right? So if you have a plant, right? You have a plant and it's not blooming. Do you blame the plant? Like, do you just chuck the plant out? Like, do I uproot a plant and just throw it away because it's not producing or it's not growing as big as I want it to, or it's not doing the thing that it's supposed to? Do I blame the plant, or do I start looking for reasons why it's not doing what it's supposed to? Do I check the soil levels? Do I check for water? Do I check for the right light? Do I check for pests? Do I check for like all kinds of things, pH levels, nutrients? Like there's so many things that you can. Are there other plants that are growing that are taking over? Those kinds of things, right? So just like a plant, we check the environment, right, for the plant to grow in, because it needs an ideal environment to do its very best and to produce what it's supposed to produce. So without all those needs being met, it is not going to be the best plant that it can be. So if we think of ourselves as those plants, as those flowers, right, what is your environment? Are you at your highest potential? Are you vibrating at your highest frequency? Are you in the highest flow state that you can be in? If the answer is no, then start checking your environment. What is going on in your environment that is keeping you from being at that high level, right? Is it the input that you're getting maybe from social media? So is the stuff that you're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, are those things to help you grow and get better? Are you looking for positivity? Are you looking for mindfulness? Are you looking for inner peace? Are you looking for exercise or better eating habits? Are you looking for those things? Or are you seeing other things that aren't positive for you? Are you watching things about violence or hurt or suffering or just the opposite of what you want to become? What about the people around you? Are you surrounding yourself with those people that are going to support the environment that you want to be in? Or are you around people that are bringing you down, that are not happy, that are constantly in a negative state? The music you listen to, are you listening to music that is promoting the image that you want to be? Are you listening to uplifting, happy music? And I mean, I know we all get in those moods. We're like, girl, we want to cry. So we put on the crying music to make ourselves cry because we need that release. But I just mean in general, are you listening to things that make you happy? Or are you putting on music that is going to make you sad? Is the message that the music carry, is it heavy? Those kinds of things, right? And then you have to really think about your thoughts. What are your thoughts that you're having? Are your thoughts that you are having promoting the person that you want to be? And if they're not, you got to stop thinking those thoughts, right? So this can be food, this can be exercise, this can be self-talk, right? So all these things are your environment. So you really have to think of yourself as if you're that flower, as if you're that plant, and check your environment. Because if something is happening that is keeping you from being the best you that you want to be, the positive you that you want to be, it's probably in your environment. And that's the great thing, is you can change that. It's your environment, and you can change how you see it and you perceive it and how you grow from it, right? So even if those bad things are happening around you, if you're stuck in a place you can't get out of, you can still learn from that, and you can still grow from that, and you can acknowledge those things, and you can move on, right? And you can keep pushing forward to get out of that state and not let those things pull you back in to that lower level frequency, right? It's not easy. It's hard. It takes work, but you can do it. And that's a great thing, right? You are the builder and you are the creator of your own, right? It is your energy, okay? Your body is the vessel and it is your internal energy, and you get to create it how you want to, and you get to build it how you want to, and it's how you perceive things. So build your image, build yourself how you desire, and be the best that you can be, and find that internal happiness. Okay, so that was pretty much everything. I beat my clock. I have 7 minutes left before my cornbread's done. But I hope you understand like where I'm coming from. I hope it makes sense. Again, some of these things are like, I listen to these all day, every day, and there's a lot bigger of a message. So it makes a lot more clarity to me. So I'm hoping what I'm regurgitating out in small snippets is enough to connect with you and give you some inspiration or hope or positivity or whatever for the day. So I hope you have a fabulous evening. And again, if you want to grab a Mother's Day bundle for your mom, your sister, if you want to grab it and split it up and kind of divvy it out, you can do that too. I also have the Build Your Own bundle going right now, and collagen is literally liquid gold. So yeah, collagen is also a great gift to give any mom that has, is aging and just wants some better skin, hair, nails, fine lines and wrinkles to go away, cellulite to go away, and it also helps with internal health. So those are the things going on. So don't forget about your moms. May 14th is Mother's Day, so make sure you order in time to get it to her. All right, well, have a positively beautiful evening, and I'll talk to you guys later.